Episode 83. The Battle Mage's staff left Cold Night Ravine feeling somewhat powerless. It's not that I'm reluctant to part with it. No matter how rare this item is, it's still just level 25 equipment. It's just transitional gear, briefly powerful at this level. Veterans don't care much. Thinking of this, Cold Night couldn't help but look down on Night's End. It was just a level 20 orange weapon, yet this guy treated it like a priceless treasure and refused to hand it over. When asked for a reason, he actually said it looked good, and he wanted to
It's just for collateral.
As a collectible.
Not like we won't get it back.
Don't kid yourself. Can you just swap it back that easily?
Someone specifically requested the Battle Mage's staff. How many times do you think you'd have to defeat the White Witch to even have a chance of it?
Yeah, why unexplained? And this was precisely why the point staff made Yedu Hanten feel helpless. A designated orange weapon is something you can only hope to encounter, not actively seek out. If you don't have it, go buy it. There's always a way to get it.
Why not try selling your ice crystal pickaxe now and see? Nighttide Cold Pool said irritably, during the new server launch phase, experienced veterans only sell equipment, not buy it. Low level gear can still fetch some cash these days, especially when you run into rich newbies. Once everyone's levels are high, and they're aiming for the heavenly domain, low-level gear becomes utterly insignificant. By then, a level 25 purple weapon will be as cheap as a white wolf's hairbrush. Yedu Hanten said he'd go buy them, but of course, that meant waiting until even low-level weapons became dirt cheap. Now, buying a level 25 orange weapon is purely a newbie move. How could Yeshu not understand that? Sell it! Sell it! Nightless Night was in tears, knowing that this weapon, which had made him stand out since level 20, was ultimately going to be lost. Lord Grimm was the one who made Ye Wyanggong gnash his teeth in fury. Cold Night's mood was also quite poor. He felt like he was scraping the bottom of the barrel, a sensation that truly felt terrible. But for the guild's cause and reputation in the new server, these sacrifices are worthwhile. In the end, both of them relied on this very belief to fortify their resolve, yet ultimately had no choice but to concede. This Lord Grimm is far too cunning. What he demands, though tricky, still falls within the guild's acceptable limits. It's definitely not some outrageous, unreasonable demand. The problem is, if things continue like this, Cold Night River is worried that their three major guilds will start competing to recruit Lord Grimm, which is definitely not a sustainable solution. After finally reaching an agreement with Lord Grimm, Cold Night River logged off and switched to his old account to request reinforcements from the guild headquarters. It wasn't that he didn't want to participate in setting the Frost Forest dungeon record here, but he was a knight, the primary defensive class in Glory, the top choice for main tank. Yet, just like the cleric Nightless Night, he was completely ignored. These two clerics were the core figures of Tyranny's pioneering efforts in the 10th server. Now they've become two helpless, miserable victims. Outside Frost Forest, Lord Grimm arrived and immediately formed a party with the 4 level 25 DPS sent by Tyranny, proceeding to explain the tactics.
Ye Weiyang was so furious, he nearly squeezed water from his mouth.
That's the gist of it. Does everyone understand? Yeshio finished explaining his strategy. He was confident that, with such a powerful DPS team, as long as there were no mistakes, beating the previous record was a foregone conclusion. The only question was by how much they could improve it.
The 4 main DPS were stunned, just like when Blue River first heard about one, Wave Push.
If there are no issues, let's enter the dungeon. Yeshio finished speaking and immediately directed Lord Grimm to lead the way into the dungeon. The 4 DPS players were puzzled, but once they entered the dungeon, they stopped overthinking and immediately rushed forward at full speed. Setting a record required seizing every second. Lord Grimm now moved forward to engage the monster. Compared to last time, Myriad Manifestation's Umbrella's level has increased, gaining multiple new forms: Gundam, Sword, and Spear, each possessing the output of a level 15 silver weapon. Yeshio maintained even steadier aggro control, simultaneously directing the 4 main DPS to unleash their attacks on the mobs as he pulled them. The 4 main DPS players were being extremely cautious, terrified of pulling aggro, only to realize that under this person's command, something like aggro, stealing simply didn't seem to exist. Does this person understand them better than they do themselves? Pulling over 20 monsters in a single wave had the 4 DPS players on edge, but under Yeshio's step-by-step guidance, they quickly found their rhythm. Just like Blue Brook Guild back in the day, their emotions shifted from confusion to shock, then to admiration, and finally to exhilaration.
After clearing the first wave of mobs, everyone glanced at the timer and immediately concluded that as long as no mistakes were made, the record was definitely going to be broken.
With momentum, even more excited than Ye Xiu. After all, the record was set for their tyranny team, and Ye Xiu wasn't surprised at all by this outcome. He continued methodically carrying out his command duties. Ye Weiyang and the other tyrannical ambition players were also running dungeons. But their minds weren't on their own task at all. They were completely preoccupied with the record. Breaking team Ye Weiyang there, glancing at the time, and 10 minutes passed in a flash. On their side, they also had a powerful team of all level 25 players. However, judging by the current dungeon progress, it was clearly impossible for them to break any records. Who knows how far that other group had already cleared? Ye Weiyang couldn't help but think. He was very curious, yet didn't want to ask, afraid the message would distract the team. Meanwhile, the rest of the team chatted while fighting monsters, with their conversation primarily focused on the mysterious expert Lord Grim. In the blink of an eye, another 5 minutes passed. The record team had been in the dungeon for 15 minutes now, and Ye Weizong's mood grew even more tense. He couldn't help but open the dungeon clear record list again for a glance. The current record was still that time of 20 minutes, 24 seconds, and 11 milliseconds. Currently, players' strength has significantly improved. From this point onward, after the 15-minute mark, a new record could be set at any moment. Suddenly, someone in the team shouted loudly. Ye Weiyang, who was still reviewing the last record, jolted and immediately scanned the system announcement, only to be utterly dumbfounded by the result. Congratulations to Tinny Herb players Carriage Front, Ji Hexian, Su Hexiang, Shi Junts and Pang Dehai for breaking the Frost Forest dungeon record with a time of 17 minutes, 48 seconds, and 45 milliseconds. Herb Garden members.
The 4 of them were all taken aback. Don't rush, it's not over yet.
Nightless was surprisingly calm. At this point, all the major guilds had reached level 25, and naturally, were beginning to go all out to refresh the Frost Forest dungeon. Tiny Herb's members performing beyond their usual level isn't worth making a fuss over.
17 minutes, 48 seconds, and 45 milliseconds. This time still has a chance to be broken by their record team.
Lord Grim's team has only been in the dungeon for 15 minutes. Maybe they're just finishing up. Ye Weiyang's prediction was when the record from Herb Garden was set. Yishu's entire 5-man team didn't even bat an eye, because they had already fully calculated what kind of results they would achieve. 17 minutes and 48 seconds. What a pity. Tiny Herb's players only have about a minute left to celebrate. The DPS from Tyranny, who were competing with Herb Garden, thought excitedly. Yishu continued his steady, rapid-fire assault. Suddenly, the system issued another announcement. Congratulations to excellent Dynasty players for breaking the Frost Forest dungeon record 13 minutes, 24 seconds, 21.